I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome
And
to Tuesday.
Tuesday. Wow. Just another Tuesday.
Just another Tuesday in the books. Just another,
Yeah,
and the
I
world
know.
keeps spinning.
It does. I like we were talking before about I can't believe it's like here we go, I can't believe it's September already, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be like the holidays and that. Like we did our got our fall decorations out this past weekend and
Same.
did all that stuff. And it's crazy how time just keeps moving on.
Yeah. I did the same, and I'm not gonna lie. I was a little like iffy about kind of jumping into fall just because it's been kind of hot here lately. But
Mm.
yesterday putting them up and seeing the house all fallified, I
Oh,
loved it. And
yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but um, Saturday night we went to Brandon's house, and all the kids were just playing outside and stuff. So we were all sitting out just in the driveway. It
Hmm.
was beautiful outside.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
honestly, I was joking with Nicole because I was like, "Oh, it's actually a little chilly. Do I need a jacket?"
I know. Yeah, we're getting some of that weather, which is in Florida this early. Getting that kind of weather is crazy,
Yeah, it was so nice. Like
but
zero
it feels
humidity,
good.
nice cool breeze. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, I love
finally
it.
at that point.
Yeah, I love it. I
At
love
least
it.
we know.
I'm glad. I like the nice weather. Yeah, same thing. Like it's just it gives a different feel, and you know it's also football season, so
It is football.
football season never hurts. So I think like on Thursday's episode, we at the very end anyway mentioned something about the situation that happened last week with Charlie Kirk, and we wanted to talk about that, not exactly just about that.
Yeah.
But kind of about some other like similar things that have gone on, and I think about the reactions to them more so than anything, because I think um, that's more telling. And that was kind of like the point that I was making when I said people needed to calm down. It wasn't, just about that. I mean, people shouldn't go around shooting other people, whether it's that, shooting Charlie Kirk or shooting kids in schools or,
Mhm.
stabbing people on buses, which was another one that happened recently.
Mhm.
But it's also like the reaction to it because in each of those cases, the school shooting that happened the same day and the stabbing on the bus of I think she was a Ukrainian immigrant that
Yeah.
happened previously. Um, that's one individual who probably has serious mental problems. Um,
Yeah.
doing something that's just insane. It's insane. Um, but I think and I saw this more so so it was pretty heavy with what happened to Charlie Kirk in that the reactions both live. I don't know if you saw this, but there was somebody that was actually in the crowd. One of the videos I saw was a guy in the crowd after it all happened, after he had been taken away and the crowd was still there.
Mhm.
There's a picture or video of a guy jumping up, putting his hands in the air like something good happened. And now
No, I.
and the reactions on social media have been the same, all over the place. People like reacting positively to it,
Yeah.
which is just wild. Because like my feeling on that is if you're reacting like positively to somebody being shot, being killed, you should probably go talk to somebody like a psychologist or someone like that, or get some mental help, because that's not a normal reaction to that kind of thing, to someone being killed. That's not a normal reaction. And it almost feels like, I was thinking about this the other day, it almost feels like the way you would react if the villain on a TV show that you watch, you know, had something bad happen to them. But this is like, and I know a lot because of social media, we think of like a lot of this stuff as though it's just a TV show. and
Mm-hmm.
that's not the case. Like, this is a real person, you know,
The
with a
real
wife and
family.
kids and all that, who died. And yeah, I just think like people, if that's your first reaction to something like that, you need to do some soul searching at least.
I think, yeah, no, I think it's very crazy to have that much hate in your body towards somebody that you don't, I mean, that you don't know, number one, and is essentially just a blogger. We've talked about it on here before. If I don't agree with somebody, or I don't like what they have to say, or I don't like what they stand for, or, the list could go on, I don't follow them. I don't interact with them. I don't listen to them. I don't watch them.
Right.
Honestly, after a while of reading the comments on some of the posts about it, I had to even just remove myself from reading the comments because, first of all, I think a lot of the comments, I can only hope, are just people trying to troll, which also is just like, are you
Sure.
13? Because if you're any older than 13, trying to troll about somebody dying, somebody um who now his kids have to grow up, like his daughter is 3 and she
Right.
has to grow up without a dad now, just because
Right.
somebody had just, I don't know, something in their brain just clicked or switched or whatever. But yeah, for people to cheer that on, whether you agree with somebody or not, you can't pick and choose if you're okay with murder. And that's what
Right.
that was. So everybody hating on other people, showing empathy towards that. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't pick and choose when you're okay with gun violence. You can't
Yeah.
say this is bad. Oh, the school shootings are bad and we need to get rid of guns. Oh, but Charlie Kirk dying is okay
Yeah.
because I didn't like him. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
crazy. That's such a
Yeah. And I think
crazy.
the only thing I would take a little bit, like, I think it is definitely good to, to avoid getting too wrapped up in the negative commentary, because you're right. That's
Yeah.
like, that's a rabbit hole. Um,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I think where he had the right idea, where Charlie Kirk had the right idea, was like, if you disagree with somebody on something, like, go, debate them about it, calmly and peacefully debate them about it. And, um, maybe you'll convince them that you're right, and maybe they'll convince you that they're right,
But
but,
he's just
but if we
entitled to
just go
his
into our
opinion,
corners, yeah, yeah, 100%.
like as
But
anybody
if,
else. I mean, if he was shooting up anybody that he disagreed with, like, come on. Everybody
right,
coming up there didn't agree with him and he didn't agree with them most times. And then, what happened? They walked away and moved on with their life. He walked away and moved on with his.
right,
I don't
right. And
understand why
generally,
we can't disagree with each other anymore,
yeah,
and why you
yeah.
have to believe everything that I believe. Y'all, me and my dad don't see eye to eye on everything. Like, we're still cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think if you watch a lot of his those videos of his, the things that he did at a lot of the colleges,
Hmm.
like, the interactions for the most part on both sides, on the people that were interacting with him and him, they were respectful. They
Yeah.
were, generally, very, very, like, they were just, debates. They were just debating whatever the topic that they were currently talking about was. And yeah, clearly didn't agree on it, but they each got up there and made their points. And maybe somebody there was convinced one way or the other, maybe not. But I think if we, like, when we go into our own echo chambers, like, where we're only listening to people, and I think that's part of the problem today, is that when we're only listening to people who we agree with all the time, and we're not doing that, I think it gets worse, because you tend to think, like, if you only surround yourself with people that agree with you on especially like these kind of, hot topic type social issues,
Hmm.
then when you hear an opinion that differs from that, that opinion seems so foreign to you
Yeah.
that that's your reaction, is like, there's something wrong with this person. How can they think that way? No one I know thinks that way. So I think that's part of like the danger of like the extremes, is when you surround yourself, with the only people who see it your way. That's not good. And I feel like over the
Mm-hmm.
last, like, and I think social media is a big part of it. I would say over the last 10 years, we've headed more into that realm where, and a lot of it is the algorithms, right? Because when you interact with things on social media, you see more of it, you know? So
Yeah.
the things you interact with tend to be things you agree with.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um,
And go ahead.
go. I no, I was just gonna say, I think that to an extent, I like talking to people or just hearing people that think differently about me on everything. I like hearing people's their side of the fence of how they think and what they believe. I don't have to agree with it. You should be strong enough in your own brain to just not care about what somebody who doesn't agree with you thinks,
Right.
but also open-minded enough to, if something, wait, hold on. My words are getting mixed up. If something that they say is makes sense, you should also be open-minded enough, though. I'm not afraid to, if somebody comes at me with a fact that, you know, discredits what I believe or whatever,
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
prideful enough to, not admit that somebody else is right, or something
Oh
that they
yeah.
say is like a fact that they say about their point of view, to be like, "Oh yeah, no, I guess that does make sense. No, I see what you're saying about that. I hear you." But
Right.
some people are just so many people are just so wrapped up in, I don't know, like attacking other people if they
Mm-hmm.
disagree with them, which is
Right.
just so crazy. I don't let anybody get me that worked up.
I think I've said this before on here, but I feel like hate and anger are, they're like they feed themselves. You know what I mean? Like when you're
Yeah.
angry about something and you get really angry about it, it's like you get this energy going, and it's almost like you want more anger, you
Oh,
know?
and then like they read or talk to other people who are just as
Yeah.
crazy as they are, and that
Yeah.
just feeds it even more. Like, I'm
Right.
in a bad mood,
Right.
having a bad day, and I go to you, and you're just hyping up my
Right.
thoughts and my bad mood. Like, that's just
Right.
gonna keep me in a worse place.
Yeah, exactly. But there's like, it's negative energy, right? But you get energy from that adrenaline rush when you're angry, and that. And
Yeah.
I just feel like, with the whole situation in the first place, like when you've gotten to the point, like, because to me there was a while there where, with certain things, it was the whole idea of cancel culture was,
Yeah.
there were certain things that you shouldn't be able to say in public, right?
Mhm.
Which kind of goes against, the First Amendment, for example. But to me, the whole point is, like, if somebody says something that you disagree with, like, the best thing you can do is contradict it with facts. If they're wrong, if what they're saying is completely wrong, contradict it with facts. Like, prove them
Yeah, but
wrong.
usually that person doesn't care about facts anyway. You can literally
Well,
go up
that's
to some people and like tell them the sky is blue, but if they want to believe that it's green, they don't care what you have to say. You could show them every fact about how it's blue and why it's blue and all this, and they just want to believe it's green so bad that they just will not
maybe they're
get you.
colorblind.
Maybe they're
Maybe they're just
colorblind,
colorblind. That
Yeah,
could be.
exactly.
Although I think when you're colorblind, you don't see greens, so that would be that would
That would
be
be
that would
opposite.
be the opposite. Yeah.
Then I would
Maybe that
definitely know
if
that
there
they're
was no
lying and hit them with new
green.
facts.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No,
That's
and
funny.
and that's it. Like, I just think, like, if there's a lesson in the whole thing, like, the best thing we can do is that, first of all, not go into our own camps, not go into our camps and just, like, listen to the echo chamber, but also,
Hmm.
like, you know like, you have a visitor, but also, like, respectfully, debate people. Like that was, I think that's the lesson of the whole thing is like, it's good to debate
Yeah.
respectfully. And, I'm not talking about what you're talking about with people just like trolling on social media. And those are the people you should ignore because they're doing it not because they believe it, but because they want to get a reaction. Those people,
Yeah.
you're best to just
It's like
ignore.
you tell kids like when they're dealing with bullies, like,
Yeah.
okay, well, just so you know, like you reacting to it is exactly what they want. Like I'm not gonna sit
Yeah.
and mess with you if you're not giving me anything back. Like that's why somebody's messing with you because they want to get something back.
Right.
Like that person wants to see everybody just what do they call it now? There's a word for it. Rage baiting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Exactly.
that's what people are doing. That's what I look at least them doing. I
Yeah.
think it's
Exactly. And
wild.
then the other side of this, though, I don't know how much of this you've seen, but a lot of these people that were posting the things, the very like just terrible things afterward, but kind of celebrating it or that type of thing. A lot of them
Yeah.
have been getting like repercussions and losing
Oh,
their
I've
jobs,
heard.
which is
I've heard
amazing,
that.
because it's sort of the reverse version of, I guess, the cancel culture stuff. And so, at
Yeah.
first I was
I
like, well,
saw
should people lose their jobs over that kind of thing? But then I thought, to
it
me,
goes
like if
back
I'm a
to what we
business
said the other
owner,
day. It's a your representation of my company. Like
exactly.
exactly what we were
Yeah,
talking about
it's
the
the
other day
Philly.
with the
Yeah,
Phillies Karen.
it's a
Like
character
nah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a character thing, and it reveals something about somebody's character that maybe makes them a bad employee. Besides
Doesn't
the whole
align
thing.
with
So
it doesn't align with what I want my company to represent. Like
right,
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is known for having friendly workers. Like you think of Chick-fil-A, like people dang near think Chick-fil-A is a healthier fast food restaurant just because of
right,
the vibes.
yeah,
Which it's not.
yeah, yeah,
but so I feel like when you're sitting there and you're I don't know, you're employing these people, nah, I'm not gonna
yeah,
have an employee.
yeah.
I don't know.
That negativity is translating itself somewhere into their role in their job. I'm sure.
I don't
Right.
want to.
I mean,
I don't when that person snaps. I don't want to have to worry about
that's true
you
too.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
then
they also work for Alyssa's company.
yeah, exactly. Well, and that's,
No, they
I think
don't.
companies today, especially after the whole Cracker Barrel thing, I think
Yeah.
companies today are being really, you know, conscious of those things and how it looks to people and that, and, I mean, that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Yeah, because I also saw this video. It was like people walking around and they were asking people like something about how do you feel about Charlie Kirk's death or something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And um and it was also a lot of college students and I don't want to disregard college students and be the old lady saying like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as somebody who was that age and thought I knew everything and thought I had it all figured out and now I'm older and also think I have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Um, um,
Same.
you don't know anything back then, and y'all
Right.
are over there acting like grown ups, but you're really just little grown ups. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see every like these people going to these college kids like, oh, what do you think about Charlie Kirk's death? And the one girl was like, she was silent for a second, and then she's like, someone had to do it. Like, who says that about someone's
Yeah.
death?
That's
Maybe it's just because I grew up, trying to be nice to everybody and like,
well, and
the one
with the college
someone
kids
had
too,
to do
though.
it.
With the
Why
college
did
kids
someone
too,
have to do that?
yeah, exactly. With the college kids too, though, I think it's like I think there's such a bias towards that way of thinking um, on college campuses
And you're trying to
that
fit
I
in.
think that
You're trying to
person,
fit in
yeah,
with the
I
people
think
around
that
you.
person
Like,
didn't even put any thought to it. That was the knee jerk reaction of what should I say here? Based on,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's trying to be the trendy thing of
Yeah,
like
exactly.
what that environment is. And in that moment, to
Yep.
her and probably the people that she's surrounding herself with, which is why it's always important to surround yourself with like-minded, good people, young
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
you are who you hang out with. But you know, it wouldn't have been cool for her to be like, "Oh yeah, that's really
Yeah,
sad."
exactly.
It's a
Exactly.
death. It's murder.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
if I see a car accident happen and it's a
Right.
really bad car accident or something and you know that somebody just died and it's I don't know, like from a drunk driver or something like that. Like someone clearly,
Yeah.
I don't know that person who died's political views. I don't know how they are as a person. I don't know anything about them. But
Right.
I know that that's sad that that just happened. If when that
Right.
or that I see on the news that like someone died in a car accident. They could be the worst person ever. They could be mean to every single person they cross paths with, but it's still sad either
Right.
way that that happened to them.
Right.
Like
Right.
this
That's
man was just
exactly it.
shot
Yeah.
at one of his just
Well,
normal little I don't know what they're called, like get-togethers.
yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you would call them. But and all of social media saw it. All of social
Right.
media basically saw him die. Like when his daughter and son get older, like that
Right.
video is going to be out there somewhere for them to find and see their dad
Yeah.
like
Yeah, sadly.
die.
Well, and
That's not
I also
something that people
think,
should see on an everyday basis. Like the fact that you
yeah.
don't have any empathy for it or
Well, and
feel
the other one
anything
that,
except haha good one is
yeah, the
crazy.
other one that was a similar situation too was the girl, that Ukrainian immigrant
Mhm.
on that bus that got stabbed, and like that video was
Yeah.
everywhere. That video was everywhere, and
Yeah.
that, that's another one that the event itself was terrible. Clearly, a guy with
Yeah.
severe mental issues that shouldn't
You
like
can tell
that.
before
That's
he
another
did it
thing we
that
could
he
talk
was
about
going through
is,
something.
yeah, that's another thing we should talk about sometime is like the number of people today that are just walking around in public that are just should not be. I don't know where they
Unmedicated.
should be, but that they shouldn't be just walking around, all of us.
Yeah.
But to me,
Yeah.
the sadder thing about that, just like that, was the reactions of the people around her, because there were other people on that
Yeah.
bus that like didn't they didn't try to stop him. Granted, it happened really quick, but then after the fact, they didn't do anything to try to help her. They didn't.
So
I mean,
here's the
this
thing
girl
though.
just collapsed on like
He's
the floor.
I would probably the thing is like when you have somebody crazy like that who has a weapon, I also look at it as like
Yeah, don't get me. Yeah, nobody's trying to be
I wouldn't be if
Superman.
I was there, I wouldn't be sitting there like hopping up trying to like tackle him. I would have called
Right,
911. I would have like went over to
right,
her probably and like seen if she was okay after he
right. But
walked
I don't think
away cuz he
anybody.
kind of
But I
stood
don't
around
think
and lingered a
nobody
little
did
bit.
that. Yeah, but nobody really did that
Yeah.
from any of the
But
things
would
I
I have
saw.
tried to
And
stop him? Would I have been like, "Stop that man." Like I wouldn't have clearly he was crazy and the thing is like he didn't care anyways. Like he's already been in and out of jail 14 times. Like he
right,
literally has I also think, there's a part of somebody that when they're doing something like that, um you don't really have too much will to live in the first place. You're not exactly trying to
maybe,
give yourself the best life to begin with because
right.
come on, you don't think you're going to get I don't know, maybe he's been in and out of jail so many times, maybe he just thinks that like, he'll do it again. Like he doesn't think
Maybe
I'm
he's
gonna be in here for forever and locked up forever,
yeah,
and
he's one
I
of
don't
those
think he.
people that's more comfortable in jail. Maybe that's
And I
so.
think they
I
said
don't
he
I
was
don't know.
homeless anyways.
Hmm.
So if anything, we're
So
just giving him a free place to
yeah,
stay.
be an
Like,
upgrade. Yeah. Um. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, like nobody's trying to be Superman. At the same time, you know,
yeah,
I mean, you got to do so. I mean, if I was on that bus, I'm not going to say
hmm
what I would have done because I don't know. But if
yeah,
I was on that bus and I let that happen and I didn't do anything, I sat there in my seat looking down at my phone and this girl died, I don't know how I'd live with myself for not doing something.
Well, what surprises me, I don't know how many of them really knew what was happening. Because first of all, like, if you watch it, he got up and he did it real fast. And I don't know if she screamed or not, or if she yelled, or if she made any kind of noise.
Yeah,
But like ahead of time, when like she walked onto the bus, you or train or whatever it was, you you can see like everyone on their phones with like headphones in and stuff.
that's
So
that's
if
another
she's
part of the
not really
problem.
like being loud and just like, you
Yeah,
know, I would have, if somebody's trying to attack me, I can only imagine that I would be like extra about it, but I guess you just never
yeah,
know. But
yeah,
um
yeah.
I don't know if they even knew really what was going on. And then he walked away, and then yeah, I don't. Plus, I also she might not have also known what was going on because again, I don't know, but I've heard before that like people who have said that when that happens and you get you know um that you don't initially like know that that's happening. It just feels like you're getting punched,
Right.
and then the after
Uh,
pain is like, so by the time
yeah,
she felt
because
anything
the
afterwards,
reaction
she already
wasn't.
passed out.
Yeah, the reaction wasn't like immediate or anything like
She
that.
wasn't
Like,
sitting there like screaming and yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that could be it. That could be it too. Yeah. See, there we go. Now we've discussed something, and I learned new facts, and maybe I think differently on it. No, I think there was one person that was kind of next to the whole thing that kind of looked over at one point,
Yeah.
and then and then the thing I saw, the girl fell to the floor, and I got the impression anyway, and maybe I didn't have all the information, so there we are. Um, that like she just laid there until later. um, and
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
again, I mean, maybe you don't know the situation because somebody might assume that she passed out or something. I don't know, but it just
But
seems to me
then a
that
pool of like
yeah,
blood
exactly,
started to
exactly,
flow. But nobody even noticed like anything too crazy until even he started walking away, and then they noticed like literally a trail of blood because I think they said he
right,
also cut his own hand in the process or something
right, right.
as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
you know,
not good. None of it's good. I,
I
I
I also don't
okay. We
I
both
also
just
don't
paused. We
like
can't do that.
when right, it's bad for radio. Um, but I also, just to go a little bit back to like the Charlie Kirk day, I think that it's also kind of annoying that when something like that happens, so there was a school shooting that day as well, and 3 kids died. I think it was 3 kids.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, And, a lot of people during that day when everyone was talking about Charlie Kirk, a lot of people were like, there was also a school shooting today and 3 kids died. That's more sad. That's this, that's that. First of all, just because like you're talking about one thing doesn't
Yeah.
make it more or less important or sad or of a big deal or anything like that than something else. That's
Hmm.
like the mindset that I kind of think is annoying personally, just my opinion of, me saying to somebody, I'm having a bad day or something, and somebody else saying, like, you think you're having a bad day? Listen to my day. At least you have a place
Yeah.
to live. At least you're not homeless on the streets. You could,
Yeah.
you're having a bad day?
Yeah.
Well, there's, or the, like, you're not going to finish all that food. Like, there's starving kids in Africa. Like,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
this, like,
Yeah. They're
your
not. It's
situation,
not a
this situation
competition.
isn't as important as this. There's still worse things going on over here. There's kids who are dying over here. Like, all
Right.
of it's important. All of it's a big deal. Charlie Kirk was a big deal because, um, that school shooting happened, but the video of them dying was not broadcasted against or across all of social media
Right.
for everyone they know to
Right.
see. That's why it was
Right.
such a big deal. That's why it was
Right.
talked about so much. He was a public figure, just the same as if like a lot of celebrities and popular YouTubers or anyone with a following, if that happened to them, it would be just as big of news.
Right.
Just as
Yeah.
big of news. Like, I feel really bad for all the people who were in the crowd that had to see that, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like those people are like scarred for life. Like
They had
that's
to
the
see
type
it
of
from
stuff.
start to finish.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Um, and like there was a guy that was actually asking him a question, at the time it happened. So that guy was
Oh, yeah.
relatively close proximity to it. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I had said before that feels to me like the kind of stuff that guys see, when they go to war that they have to go through serious therapy for. So yeah, for those people that were in that crowd, I mean, because to your point, a lot of people saw it on YouTube or on,
Or it's
wherever,
just
but
like a little clip.
um, yeah, but seeing it on a screen and seeing it in person are very different. So yeah, those people, hopefully they can get whatever kind of therapy they might need to get through that, because that has to be tough to have seen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just has to be kinder. But I guess,
Yeah,
also, again, I think it's just like the cool thing to be, I don't know, heartless in comments,
yeah,
maybe. Because I also noticed that a lot of those comments are from, like, not people's real pages a lot of times, too.
yeah, like
Like,
bots
say it
and
with your
that kind of
chest.
thing.
Log into your
Yeah,
main account. Say it with your chest.
yeah, yeah,
I've never been a person commenting, like, going on and just
yeah. I
commenting
think
crazy hate.
the real irony of the whole thing is that a lot of the stuff that they say about Charlie Kirk is that, well, he had a lot of hate speech is the term they use, for stuff that he posted in that. And I'm like, well, I can't think of anything more hateful than celebrating someone's death. Like
That's what
that's
I'm
pretty
saying.
hateful. That's
That's
pretty
what I'm
hateful.
saying. Like, everybody who's commenting this stuff is acting like they're against, like, killing. They're against guns. They're against hate, like hate speech, or just all these hateful things being said, but
Hmm.
they're being that person. Or
Right.
or my favorite is when they're like quoting certain things, I guess, that he would say,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, hey, here you said this about guns. There you go." And it's like, "But I
Yeah.
thought you disagreed with him, so you should be
Yeah. Yeah.
so against
Exactly.
this." Like,
Well, also
if you're
that
saying like that's what he gets for being for guns, and
yeah.
also that's why he's for guns, because you have crazy people walking around who shouldn't have guns.
Yeah.
And
Well, actually, and that whole thing with the quote from him that was going all over about guns was actually like they took one little section of it to use it for their purposes, but it was taken completely out of the context of what he was trying to say, what the point he was trying to make. So that's the problem with social media too.
yeah, oh, I mean, I think that most of the people that probably are saying those things as well probably haven't watched too many of his videos. I honestly just started seeing, I might have seen like a few videos here and there before, enough
Hmm.
to know who he is, but I've
Right.
seen probably more of his videos popping up um, since he passed away. But
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Same.
he just sounds like any other one of these like vloggers with a he's just like us. He got a podcast and just spews his opinion on
Yeah.
there. What's
Yeah.
why is that an issue? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Exactly.
I've
Exactly.
never understood or cared about somebody else having an opinion. It's their
I'm
opinion.
My ADD is kicking in because I just keep seeing cat ears poking up behind you. Sorry.
I know it's me.
Oh,
Oh, now
that's
she's
the
acting
angry
shy.
that's
Now
the
she's
angry
acting
kitty.
shy. Oh
No,
wait,
actually Waffles is the angry kitty, not Mapes. That's right.
maybe. I know, and then she acts like she wants to be on camera just subtly.
All
That's
right,
funny.
well
I didn't even
that's
know this cat ears.
let's let's end on that high note, since this was more of a deep conversation than we normally have on here.
It was a little heavier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Promise to get back to fun on Thursday.
Oh yeah. We're gonna do a competition of who can stand on their
Oh.
head the longest. Tune in.
Oh. Oh gosh,
No, I'm
I'm gonna
just
lose
joking.
that. I'm gonna lose that.
You know what I wonder? This is just a question that I have that I was thinking about the other day, actually, speaking of standing on your head. Why is it if I stand on my head, all the blood flows to my head, and, like, yeah, you start to not feel too good, like your
Yeah.
head might go numb,
Eventually
I
you
don't know.
pass out. Yeah.
But when I'm standing upright like this, all the blood doesn't go to my feet.
That's a good question. Maybe somebody knows the answer to that. I don't. I don't know the answer to
Why
that one.
why
Science.
does it happen
Science
like
is
that?
science. It's science.
Why does gravity only work one way and not when I'm
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
other
I don't know.
way?
I think I'm thinking it has something to do, this is just my guess, but it has something to do with the proximity of your head to your heart because it's closer.
Oh,
But that's just my guess. Like
so it
you
travels
know,
longer? Yeah, but I'm
it's
standing
the
on my
way
feet
things are
sometimes a
designed.
long time. It
That's true.
has
Well,
time
and
to
your
all
feet
go
start
down
to
there.
hurt. You're standing on your,
Yeah, but
just stand
that's,
in one place on your feet. It hurts.
I don't know. Yeah, if somebody
Think
knows the
about it.
answer to that, let me know. Explain it to me
Yeah.
like I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
But be
I need
nice.
most things. Yeah. I need most that. Exactly. Because you would be nice to a 5-year-old.
Because well,
Hopefully. Hopefully.
yeah, I can only hope. Not everyone is.
Yeah. True. All right. Thanks for listening to our rant today, guys. And be
Bye,
nice.
everybody. Be nice. Have a nice day.